folks, Charlie Sims here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you are having a lovely day and thank you for joining me for a speed build. And today we are building a New Orleans inspired home. So the back has a really big balcony, which is typical of the New Orleans kind of townhouse style, but I guess I've done a more of a colonial style at the front. Just wanted to make it really grand. We've got a couple of balconies, but to be honest, this is just like a normal house, apart from the fact that it's overgrown and very colourful. So when I say normal house, this is like a combination of influences, which is also like what they do have in New Orleans. So I've just got up something just got up some architectural styles in New Orleans. So we have like the French district, and we have like shotgun houses, which are like, if you think the bungalows in Strangerville. And then we have Creole cottages as well, which are like bungalows, but they're different to the shotgun ones. The townhouses, like Greek revival townhouses, typically have big columns and two-story balconies. So they have a lower balcony and then an upper balcony and a load of columns, a bit like a Greek temple, I guess it looks like at the front. I think that's the idea behind that. In New Orleans, they also have neoclassical and colonial revivals, as well as Queen Anne's. And as I said, this is a combination of influences, which is its own architectural style in New Orleans, which is really cool. And as you can see, we are already making it like really colourful, and I haven't even put the wallpaper down. So we have these eaves that are red, and then we have green fence, and then I wallpaper the whole house purple. And we've got some brick detailing as well, and we have a lot of it's overgrown at the front, so we have like a lot of tropical trees at the front as well. And I guess this is supposed to look like not in the city centre of New Orleans, if you like, more in like the suburbs of New Orleans. And we use the new pack a lot in this build. I wasn't initially thinking that the build was haunted, although of course you could make it haunted. I know the aesthetic that came with this pack, even though it's the Paranormal stuff pack and primarily the gameplay is haunted. We didn't get things that you would expect your stereotypical haunted house to have, which, you know, I kind of like that they went with like a different architectural style, and we didn't just get like some more stuff that we could put with vampires, even though I think that would have been fine. But I do like that they've taken the opportunity to introduce like a new architectural style, so that's really cool. Even though, I mean, we didn't get build items, it's just the interior is supposed to be New Orleans inspired, eclectic and art deco. That's the word I was thinking of. I don't know whether they are, because I'm no expert, but I do think that the items that we got with this pack are just really fun. We can use them a lot, and there's a load of really nice swatches. I think I end up making a room that's like every different kind of colour, just to like test the swatches out. So yeah, this was really just an excuse for me to use the entire pack basically, and that's what we end up doing. But we'll talk about the items as I put them down. I'm just swapping some windows out for some windows with shutters, and then on the side we just put some smaller pink windows down, because we get a lot of pink windows with base game, which is great. I didn't realise. So I think that looks really nice, and I didn't think I'd ever actually use the pink swatch, so happy days. And now we are getting out these hanging plants that we got from Paranormal stuff pack, and these are my favourite hanging plants. I love that we've started getting plants that kind of hang down a bit. It's really nice, and I think it's really different. They're a lot different to the Nifty Knitting ones. I think they're my favourite hanging plants. And actually, when I was looking at the New Orleans architecture, I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, there were actually a lot of those kind of hanging plants on the exterior, so I thought I would do that here as well. And now I'm just having a bit of fun with the landscape. We make it quite tropical, because I believe New Orleans is a pretty warm place. So I mostly put down these island living plants, and then we have some base game kind of spider plants, and then these plants from Jungle Adventure, and then some cactuses as well. And I don't know how realistic this is, but I think it really just goes with the whole vibe of the house, and I think it looks really nice. So we've got it in there. I end up putting a small gate in the front as well, so it's all gated, and then we cover that up with some plants. So as you can see, it's like starting to look overgrown. We also continue that in the back as well and just cover like the entire lot with plants, which I just really enjoy doing. I absolutely love landscaping. So yeah, we do this a bit, and then I realised that the landscaping is very flat, so then we put a load of tropical trees around as well. And now I'm just kind of like covering the edge of the metal gate, and we do end up swapping the gate out because I want like a bit more privacy, and then we put a pull down. So this is just me adding some tropical trees. I love that tree from Island Living. That big kind of it looks like something's growing on it, but I think that's really nice. And then we just put some like smaller trees of varying sizes, and we continue the kind of brick theme out the back. And then I size up some of these hanging plants to add as well, because I thought they weren't very stand out now that we've basically covered the whole house with like trees. So I wanted to make them stand out a little bit more, so I sized them up, and then I think I add like a few more as well. And soon we will be moving to the back, where I just put a small pool in the build. And I don't often put pools in my builds, but I thought this was kind of perfect just because it ends up being so private. So yeah, we cordon off like a little bit of the garden, and it is a small garden because of all of the plants and things, but I just really like how it turned out. So we just give them like a little pool and a barbecue and just a seating area, and like just the general things, like nothing too exciting. We don't use the new pack outside yet. It's when we get inside that I start to have like a little bit of fun with the colours, and yeah, just the colour scheme of the house. And I think it ends up looking really cool. So yeah, still using that base game barbecue that we got with the Hispanic update that I absolutely love. Do end up swapping out this table and chairs because I end up going with like more of a wooden look to match those base game chairs on the left, which I think they're really nice. I thought that was like a nice little touch to the outside. And now we're just changing the wallpaper and the flooring of the pool a little bit to kind of make it look terracotta like the tiles on the top. And yeah, just playing about with some pool trim, but we end up going with that Salvadorada pool trim and just add a drain, and then we're on the inside. So it took me like a really long time to work out the floor plan. It ends up being a little bit weird, but I do find a nice place for the stairs to go. So I end up putting the stairs in this corner here, and then putting a wall in front of the staircase, and then I replace the wall with a column and a spandrel. And we do this a couple of times because I do like the detail that it adds to it. I wasn't thinking that the walls have been bulldozed or anything. It's just I just like this little bit of detail, and I think that looks quite nice by the stairs. So the floor plan as well. The floor plan, it takes me a while to work out, especially upstairs. You'll see me struggling with the floor plan a lot, and it was just because there are whole walls that are just covered with windows, and you can't really put a wall through the window. Not through the window, but you can't like intersect a wall with a wall of windows, because the way I've placed them, they're kind of like in the middle of like where you would place a wall. So yeah, I just couldn't put a wall there. And I am absolutely in love with the flooring that we get from Paranormal Stuff Pack. I think it's stunning. I used it in the bathroom. I don't know whether you just saw me use it in the bathroom, and I used it in dark blue, and that really matches that tiling. I was super happy. It matches it perfectly. I did not have any trouble matching like existing items in the pack, sorry, existing items in the game with this new pack. I found it really easy, and even like matching items in the pack with that have different swatches, I found easy as well. So we get like three different types of blue, and the three different types of blue swatches we get all like match the other types that we get. If you want to use like a different shade of blue on the walls and then a particular shade of blue on the couch, like they all seem to look good together. Like it's a very cohesive pack, and I just really liked playing about with the colours. And I play about with the colours a lot, not in this room. We keep this quite light. I mean, we keep the whole house quite light, and then I kind of play about with the bedrooms and the living room that ends up being like a light blue. So we do change this wallpaper. We add a tile because it's a kitchen, so I think like as much as I like the wallpaper, I always like to put tile in my kitchen, and then we do put a different wallpaper in the dining room just to use something different. But I think the rest of the house just has various different swatches of this wallpaper, apart from the bathroom, of course, which has tile. And now I'm just cluttering up the kitchen with like my usual kitchen clutter. I did put down the cowplant, terrarium, and some other unusual things on the other side of the counters, but this is just like, I don't know, the normal section. I don't know, less kooky section of the kitchen. And I just put some salt and pepper shakers down, a chopping board, and then some knives, and I think we might be done with that. Oh yeah, this is the wallpaper change. And yeah, I just love how much everything goes. Like, this was super just fun and easy because everything like fit together. And I guess I don't know whether like this is for old people or older people. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess it does look a little bit dated from the inside. I did quite like that. I think it does look like a cute kind of granny's house, maybe. I think even like if you paired some of these things with nifty knitting, it would go, oh, maybe I should try and do that. It certainly goes with vintage glamour, but I don't know about nifty knitting. I haven't tried. So yeah, so we try out a few of the wallpapers, and they're all really nice, the swatches. And yeah, as you can see, like I put down a blue and oh, it's like a claret and blue, and that goes with the wall. It all just seems to go. So yeah, I had a lot of fun just playing about with the colours of this, and we use that couch, and I do like the other couch that we get, but this couch is just so usable. Same for the other chair. So we get like a seating chair. We get two seating chairs, two couches, and then we get a coffee table and an end table. So really good. So yeah, as you can see, like I'm playing about with the purple, but we do change purple back to the light blue, because here, yeah, just ignore this. I end up not doing this. So I end up like dividing the living room and having like a wall of curtains. And I think with the curtains and the colour scheme, this looks like a stereotypical fortune teller's room. Like, I know that we don't get that with the pack, but that was what I was thinking. But then I thought, oh, it's just so stereotypical. So, and I also end up making the living room light blue again because I want like a distinction between the room where the seances go, or in my mind, where the person who lives there kind of cons the other people into believing what they tell them about their future and their fortune and this, that, and the other. So we end up lightening this up, and like that's like maybe their workroom where they get all their money. I mean, this is all like fake, although I don't know why they didn't do like a kind of mystic meg as well. I think that would have been really cool. I think certainly if this was a game pack, we would have got something like that. I have to keep reminding myself that this is only like a stuff pack. Like, it's kind of amazing how much we get. But yeah, so ultimately after that, I just realised, oh, I actually prefer the blue, and it looks really weird to have like a half blue, half purple room. So we just open up, I just bulldoze the wall of curtains and then just make it all blue. But you'll see that in a minute, I believe. So I'm just doing like the bathroom, nothing too fancy here. End up having a lot of room in this bathroom actually, but it's just the weird layout of the floor plan, I think, that was kind of dictated by all of the windows that I decided to put down. So I think before we do that, I mean, definitely before we go upstairs, we change the living room. But for right now, I am doing the hallway, and we just add like a couple of coat racks. And then I think I put some end tables, start experimenting with like other like different items in different packs, like seeing if they go well. And the first thing I think of is like movie hangout laundry day would go quite well with this pack. So we end up using like some things from movie day, that shelf with a load of plants in glass balls by the looks of things. And yeah, and then I use this end table from movie day, that I always forget exists, and I'm just like, oh, that actually really goes here. And then we put like a load of candles on this as well. Not any of the new sacred candles that we got, just some generic candles. And then I think I add, yeah, just some more coat racks and a mat, and yeah, some more plants as well. So I wasn't really sure. It's quite like a long corridor, so I wasn't really sure what to do in the corridor. I also put a mirror at the top of the stairs, which is something that I like doing now. This is where I get rid of that wall of curtains, and then I actually use the floor throughout the house as well. This lovely floor that we got with the pack. And yeah, I then think about making this a bit yellow, but then I still think, oh, it's too much yellow if we look at the fact that there's just some light yellow cushions on the white couch. So yeah, just lighten that up a little bit more, but the yellow chairs stay. And yeah, as you can see, like I played around a lot with the colours there, because they just all seem to go with the other swatches. So kind of great. I actually have to move the windows when I get upstairs just for the floor plan to work. It is a little bit weird, but I think that's okay because this is like a fairly old house, I imagine, and old houses, the floor plans are weird, and that's that's what I tell myself every time I end up doing an old house and I haven't really thought about the floor plan from the inside. But yeah, we've got like some base wallpaper down, but it does change, and then I realise we actually need a family upstairs bathroom. So I use that dark blue floor pattern again. I just think it really goes with this tile. This is a base game tile as well. I think they look really good together. I'm like proper happy with that, because I do initially think, when am I ever going to use the blue in this floor pattern? But there you go. So the bathrooms end up being like pretty similar, except I do something that I've never done before. I remove the toilet roll and then I use this kitchen roll, and I think that looks like toilet roll, and I'm mega happy with that. I'm going to do that all the time, because I always just put like the normal toilet roll dispenser in, but I like that the kitchen towels can look like toilet roll, and I don't know why I'm getting so excited by toilet roll. So let's move on. What else to do in these bathrooms? Yeah, I just clutter up this kind of sink area with like some toothbrushes and just some bathroom essentials, and then candles. And now I'm just putting a little cabinet of towels in because I have like a load of room. And now I'm just thinking about what kind of bed can go with all of this stuff that we get from Paranormal stuff, and I just thought vintage glamour. So all of the gold accents actually go with all of the gold accents from vintage glamour, which I'm super happy with. So it's not like the wood tones. When they do gold, they do it in one shade, which is fab. Maybe there is only one shade of gold, I don't know, but you know what I mean. We have lots of shades of wood tones that don't necessarily go with all of the other ones. But in terms of cross pack compatibility, if that's a thing, like top points for this, I was so happy as well that I could use those. It's gone now, but I was so happy that I could use those wardrobes from Vintage Glamour, because I absolutely love them, because they're like mega skinny, and yeah, they just like fit anywhere, and you don't need like a load of wall space. But I just haven't used them before really, and I use the Vintage Glamour stuff again, so it's just like a great day. Can you imagine if they did this for like wood swatches, like the next pack we get, if they were just like, let's match all of the wood tones with another pack? It's just something that's just so simple, but it means that we don't get another different type of wood tone. But anyway, I'm just cluttering up this shelf with some, or I will be in a minute, I've just cluttered the shelf up with some diapers and then some milk bottles. I quite like doing that, and then making like a baby changing table. Just, I don't know, just like a bit of realism. I know that there's not a lot we can do with babies, but I just like doing this in my builds where I build nurseries. I've done it before, and we also add like a load of creepy dolls, because at the moment it's not like a very creepy house, it's like a very cutesy house, but not a very creepy house. And then I put that big bat toy for some reason, I'm not sure why, and then I add that rug again. and then just lighten up the floor a little bit. And I love all the swatches in this floor pattern as well. I can't get enough of the floor pattern. And now we move on to the teenager's bedroom, and I was initially thinking that it was the teenager's baby, because I was thinking like in my head that the parents are like maybe a bit too old now, but I think that's because of how dated the home is. Obviously, like they can be young parents living in this room, but I did initially think like also with like a ton of mods. Not even a ton of mods. I think it's just like a couple of mods, like MC Command Center and then Woohoo Wellness, and then you have to set the age to like enable teenagers to woohoo, and then you can have teenage pregnancy. But yeah, that was like my idea. But and there'll be a tutorial on that. But of course, this can be, for young parents. That's fine. But yeah, that was just like my initial thought because of how dated the home is. And now we're just adding like some general like teenage clutter and a creepy doll, and then some more twisted tendrils. And then I think we go back to the teenage room just to like clutter up the room a little bit and add like a bit of mess, and then a yarn basket, because lately my Sims's go-to activity is just knitting. I don't know, I just love that activity. I get all of my Sims to do it. But yeah, and I end up putting just a backpack with some mess down, and then a hairdryer as well. And yeah, it's just supposed to be like a bit of a messy teenager's room before we move on to just filling up some space in the corridor. And I decide I can actually put that plant by the stairs. So you will see me like throughout this build, I'm sure you've seen me try and put that plant somewhere, but because like the leaves come out so much, it keeps like intersecting with the walls. But there in the middle, right by the staircase, I just think, oh, that's perfect because it's not going to intersect with anything. I'm just kind of like weird about that. But anyway, I think we are nearing the end of the speed build now. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more content from me, please hit subscribe. Catch you later.